Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Monday, January 26th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 39. In hour two of today's show, we'll talk about LSU landing left tackle Jordan Seaton in the portal over the weekend, and we'll give you a Super Bowl preview between the Seahawks and Patriots. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number two of Off the Bench, live from the Panini Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, brought to you by First American Bank and Trust, starts now.
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Okay, here we go.
Where the plays get broken down and science gets denied.
Yeah, they said I got to come off the bench.
Hour two of Off the Bench, live from the Raising Cane studio.
All right, welcome back in. It is OTB, and we are live here in Mobile, Alabama. Thanks to First American Bank and Trust. FABT.com is the website, FABT.com. All right, so the show did get going pretty fast there.
Yeah.
We had two
high flying.
We had Luke Altmaier and Cole Payton, a couple of quarterbacks here in this year's Senior Bowl. But just because we didn't get a chance to get the show started, I still want to remind you about our friends over at GoFlow IV Spa. GoFlowIV.com is the website right off of Jefferson in Baton Rouge. And so if you're feeling a little under the weather, or if you just want to make sure that you don't feel under the weather, you go see our friends over at GoFlow.
Yeah, go check them out, GoFlow IV. If you've never had a little IV therapy, a little IV treatment, man, go treat yourself. I know, I get it. It's little, it might be a little ice on the road. Maybe today's not the day, but go see them soon. With all this weather change, sniffle season's around, so boost your immune system. A little Myers cocktail, get hydrated, get vitamized, straight to the veins, works immediately. Go check them out right there on Jefferson Highway. GoFlow IV, GoFlowIVSpa.com.
All right, so one of the big things, and it happened after we got off air on Friday, obviously, Jordan Seaton.
Obviously.
Always and forever. The number one offensive lineman in the portal, one of the top players overall in the transfer portal, is now signed with the LSU Tigers. And, we had
he
hopes.
got over here.
Get over here.
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
It was pretty good, actually.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Legit.
He is going to be the anchor of the offensive line, and we went around the room right before the portal opened up, and we all gave a position that we wanted and needed to see LSU thrive at when adding players in the portal. And I don't remember which order we went in, but we said quarterback, offensive line, edge rusher, and I think somebody said receiver. Mm-hmm. If I'm not, because at the time you didn't have any. Mm-hmm. I'd say check, and check. You got the number one edge, the number one offensive lineman, the number one quarterback, and
plus
a lot. Check. That's right. Yep. Check plus with the 5-star plus, and then you've got like 97 receivers. So for what we were talking about, like wanting to see LSU do in the portal to what they got in the portal, I know you got to play ball. I know a ball has not been snapped yet, but for the needs that you had in the portal, it could not have gone better for LSU.
800-foot home run lane hit with this portal class. And so the recruiting they did, the job that they did, not taking no for an answer a lot.
Yes,
people leaving town and Lane getting on a plane.
Yeah. Hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah, kudos to the private jet fuel team of keeping the plane fueled up, ready to roll at all times. Kudos to the pilots, the plane itself. Kudos to Lane for taking those necessary steps and doing whatever, literally whatever it took to get the people that they identified as who they wanted. They identified a quarterback, got it. They identified lineman, they got it. They identified all these players, and they got them.
Yeah.
No matter what it took. Dollar figures, the recruiting, the message that they were sending, the game plan, what they presented to them, on how they fit into the team, what kind of system they were going to run, all of these things, it all worked out. And absolute dinger of a home run by Lane Kiffin and his staff, because, man, they not only filled the needs, but they filled with the best. I think, 3 of the top 5 kids in the transfer portal class.
Number 1, 3, and 4 overall.
Yeah, pretty decent. Don't know what happened to number 2, but whatever.
Cam Coleman, receiver, went to Texas.
Well, he probably saw that we had 38 receivers. We got a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I bet somewhere in there are some good ones.
So let's go over kind of what LSU was able to do. Okay, so you didn't have a scholarship quarterback, and now you have 3. Mm-hmm. You get your starter, a guy in Sam Levitt that's been to the playoff, and that wasn't going to be enough because you still had other needs. You go get Longstreet from USC, somebody that hasn't played but highly touted and has had some action, and you see a bright future for him. And then you go get a quarterback from the FCS level that has had a lot of success on the field a year ago. So you get a little bit of everything, so that's how you rebuild the quarterback room. And then for the running back room, well, you retain your players. You get Harlan Berry, you get Caden Durham to come back for another year at LSU. And those are 2 players that I think were underutilized. They couldn't really show their talents behind the scheme and all the situation we talked about with the offensive front in front of them. For both of those players to still average over 4.5 yards per carry,
yeah.
I tip my cap to them because I don't know where to tell them to run on the film that we watched. And then now you bring in a bunch of receivers as well. You bring in multiple tight ends. You bring in multiple offensive linemen, including the top offensive lineman. And so, yeah, it's bringing players in. It's the retention that you had at the running back position. Now, to play devil's advocate, there's going to be a lot of new, and you got to try to figure out how to integrate all the new and how that's going to work together, and you got to get everybody up to speed pretty quickly here. Mm-hmm. Now, it is not like when we played where we don't have the option and ability to get onto the field, during this time of year. They can actually go out there. They can meet. They can be I think it's twice a week maybe. They can go through what we would consider kind of OTA-ish, mini camp-ish type situation where we didn't have that. We had
there's actual rules they have to follow?
Yeah, they do, but they're way more lenient than what we had.
My God. Well, yeah. Who's enforcing these rules, though?
I don't know who's in charge. That's a silly question.
I know. Nobody knows who's in charge.
So they at least can get time on task with the new offense.
Yeah, and that's the trickiest part with all this turnover, new guys, new faces, is how you integrate them into your program, into your system, teach them the culture. But everybody's new. The whole coaching staff is new, so everybody's learning together. So, just to reemphasize, Lane Kiffin and his staff, they go out. They find the best available. They get the best available. Some of that best available was already wearing an LSU helmet, and they retained it. And some of the biggest moves that were made in the portal were retaining a lot of these guys. And
certainly on defense,
those guys are, if you keep them out of the portal or you sign them back from in the portal, even though they played on LSU last year, we all know in college football, you're on one-year deals. These are one-year free agent deals. And just because they didn't enter the portal doesn't mean that they finished the season and said, oh, yeah, I'm coming back for sure no matter what. I bleed purple and gold. No, you had to recruit them to keep them out of the portal. So that is a win in and of itself. So before we even signed our first person from another school, some of the biggest moves were made by retaining. And talk about Caden Durham and Harlan Berry. I'm so excited to see what these guys can do in this Lane Kiffin offense with real run plays, with great quarterback play, with a great system in place. Because last year this time, we talked about Caden Durham like we're talking about Harlan Berry. He had that type of first year at LSU. Don't get it twisted. Caden Durham is a hell of a running back. Love his running style.
Offensive freshman in the league.
It's
2 years ago.
And he's had a great average per carry this year. He just didn't. He didn't have some of the flashes I think that Harlan Berry kind of had, but those flashes come when big holes are presented in the running game, and that just wasn't presented a lot. So excited to see what both these guys can do, because we got two war daddies, I think, at running back that can really you look at what Lacey did up in Ole Miss this year. I think that they can do that plus. That's how much I believe in those two.
So you get Jace Brown from Kansas State at receiver. You get Trey Wilson from Florida at receiver. You get Watkins from Ole Miss. You get Trey Brown from ODU. I mean, the list goes on and on. You get Jackson Harris. I know a lot of people are excited about him coming over from Hawaii. So you're going to have candidates, and they're all a little bit different. For Jackson Harris, he is 6'3", 200 pounds. Trey Brown, 6'2", 185 pounds. Watkins is a 5'9" guy. All right. Trey Wilson, a 5'10 guy. So you've got a little bit of mixture of everything. Kind of Jace Brown's like that in between. He's 6'1", 170. So you got a little bit of everything, too. You didn't just get like a bunch of, what Jordan call them for the Saints? The little receivers?
Little boys.
Little boys.
No, small boys.
Small boys.
Small boys.
Yeah, small boys. Receivers, what Jordan called them the other day for the Saints. No, you got a little bit of a mixture of everything. And so, like, for the defense, it's a lot of familiar faces. It's a lot of guys that you know because they were here a year ago. And so you did a great job retaining players over there. Now, you did add, and we'll get to the defense a little bit later on, but this offense is completely revamped. It is going to be all new. Now, again, having all of that gel and mesh together, we'll see how that plays out. The tight end position is going to be one that I am going to be watching. Malachi Thomas, you get him over from Pitt. And the tight end position is, I think, crucial in the Lane Kiffin, Charlie Weiss Jr. offense. Like, you're going to be asked to make plays time and time again. You go back to the LSU game, and the tight end might have been the difference in the game. Like, you go to the Georgia game, tight end might have been the difference in that game. And so tight end is not going to be just used as a blocker. He's not going to be used just as a receiver. And like, you got Trey Green, you got the X factor at tight end, but you're going to need other players to step up. And Malachi Thomas coming over from Pitt, 6'4". Now he's not a 260-pound tight end. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's like 215, 220 type tight end. So I guess the one question, if you do want to get a little bit of a bruiser at the tight end position, like, how's that going to play out for LSU? And you got some other guys, obviously, you recruited coming out of high school that are in the through the ranks and on the roster right now too.
Yeah, we talked about, like, you know, you can tell what somebody's building by the tools that they own, the tools that they buy, and certainly they bought all sorts of tools in this transfer portal. But we saw the tight ends, we saw the running backs, we see what he wants to do. Lane Kiffin wants to run the ball. Now it might look like a spread. It might look like he's trying to spread it out and throw it every down and go fast, and faster the better. But they want to run the football. But, man, I'm so excited to see what this Lane Kiffin offense can do with Trey Green. You talk about the tight end, but, like, let's be honest, he's a receiver, right? Yeah. He's basically a receiver. He's just a big body.
Now he's willing. Like, he'll try.
Yeah, he's willing. He's willing. Not necessarily
try to put his face in there and block and do the thing.
And that's really all you got to do.
Yeah. But no, it's never going to be the thing on the highlight tape that starts the highlight.
No. It's not going to be those highlights we see of George Kittle, like, just rolling people in the box or anything. But he's a receiver and a damn good one. So I'm so excited. Like, what a weapon to have for an offense and any quarterback. It had to be one of the big selling points for the three quarterbacks that ended up deciding to come here, because you give somebody like that a target and say, you think, how many touchdowns can you have in the red zone with this guy in the repertoire? Look what we did at Ole Miss with these small boys at tight end.
You look at Ole Miss last year, and they threw the ball 523 times. They ran the ball 576 times. So to Matt's point, to the point we make all the time, they go fast. It is NASCAR pace, but they want to run the football more than they do anything else, and their offense is set up through running the football. So excited for that. And also you have a quarterback who can run the football. That's something that you didn't have over the last couple of years. And, look, you can win games without it. But in this offense, Trinidad Chambliss last year, 133 carries, 527 yards, 8 touchdowns on the ground. So it is going to be a lot of Q runs as well. Some design, some because the play breaks down and you got a guy that can go make you a first down. All right, we'll take a break. More on LSU, kind of the portal class, and hopefully we can catch up with some of the LSU guys. I know obviously throughout the week we will have that for you, but like I said, it's kind of in and out a little bit. We'll see what the next wave of players looks like, and we'll do it right here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go see our friends over at Gulf Coast Office Products. They are the #1, without a doubt, office supply in Baton Rouge. It's not really close, and really you can extend it past Baton Rouge. It is the Gulf South, in New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, in Mandeville, in Lafayette. They've got offices in every city that we just mentioned there. They are the official partner of the Saints, of the Pelicans, of the Tigers, of the Raging Cajuns. And look, as you know, it's not just about documents anymore. It's about managing and hosting the information your company needs to grow and thrive in the years ahead. So if you're engineering, law firm, university, bank, hospital, whatever it might be, when you need a document, you need Gulf Coast Office Products.
That's right. When the printers stop or the copiers jam, it slows everything down. Business comes to a halt. That's where Gulf Coast Office Products comes in. Louisiana's leader in office technology for over 40 years. They've kept people and businesses just like yours running smoothly. Copiers, printers, managed IT services. If you want to have your office running smoothly, go get Gulf Coast Office Products, gcopnet.com.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn. Live from the 2026 Panini Senior Bowl in Mobile. Presented by First American Bank and Trust.
All right, welcome back in. It is OTB, and we are live here from Mobile, Alabama. And our coverage brought to you this week by First American Bank and Trust. And I always want to remind you, if you're looking for a fresh start this spring, Oshner Eat Fit is bringing back alcohol-free for 40. A simple 40-day reset designed to help you sleep better, boost your energy, and feel your best. This isn't about giving up anything forever. It's just about seeing how your body responds when you take a break and let it recharge. When you sign up, you'll get access to pre- and post-challenge metrics like body comps, blood pressure, so you can basically see the changes over 40 days. Participants often report better sleep, clearer skin, more focus, and a brighter mood, sometimes in just the first couple of weeks. Registration is now open. You can learn more and sign up at alcoholfreefor40.com and hit reset with Oshner Eat Fit. Again, that is alcoholfreefor40.com. All right, we are here again at the Panini Senior Bowl. It's a big week for all of these players out there trying to achieve their dream of playing in the National Football League. And it is a wrecking, it's hard to explain, because you're excited for the opportunity, but your nerves are at an all-time high. I think because you understand, what's at stake.
Yep.
And so, you're excited to be here, but it's you don't want to make the mistake. And so, everything is heightened in every drill. So, the players that usually perform best here just forget about where they're at, what it is, and just go out there and do what they've done their whole life, which is just play football at a very high level. It's easier said than done.
Yep. This is the moment that they're probably the most nervous coming into it. It's kind of like before a big game, right? The lead up, the build up's always from a nerve standpoint, the worst part. But once they get on the practice field, someone asked me this yesterday, and I can't remember. They're asking, how did you handle the nerves in a big game, with the crowd noise and all this stuff happening? I'm like, well, as a quarterback, you don't get a lot of contact, of course, but I always like to get hit on the first drive, because once I got hit, it was all right, this is a football game. There's a lot of stuff happening before the game, the lead up, the media coverage. There's a lot of people in the stands. But at the end of the day, once you get hit, you're all right, I'm in a football game. This is a football game. I've done this. I'm good at this. So let me go compete now, and I can kind of forget about everything else. That's going to be the same way with these kids this week. There's a lot of buildup. There's a lot of nerves. They've been training for this. They've been thinking about this their whole lives. But once they step on the practice field and practice starts, and they're like, oh, okay, I got to hit a bag now. I got to do a one-on-one. I got to take a center quarterback exchange rep. Once they get in, that's going to be their comfort zone. It's doing all this stuff that's out of the comfort zone, having to come do, the media obligations. They're going to be in interviews. They're going to be in meetings for the most part all most of the time is going to be in a meeting room, and they're going to be breakout sessions with different teams, how you handle it. But they have to get used to being uncomfortable, and they have to get used for the next 6 months of their lives. Every move they make is going to determine whether they get the real opportunity to play in the NFL, and especially at a long-term rate. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be. What's happening? How are you? Good to see you.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, good to see you. Absolutely, I appreciate it.
That's right. Hey, that's right. Hey, you're the head man this week, huh? The head man this week.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool deal.
Yeah.
Like doing the OC last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say we're on. You can say hello to the fine people in Louisiana. Joel Thomas is going to be the head coach here this week at the Senior Bowl. Joins us now.
Who dat?
What's up?
Who dat? Let's go.
How we doing,
How's
man?
everybody doing?
Doing well.
great.
Glad to have you on. Saints well represented this week.
Yeah, no, we between myself, Peter, Scott, as coordinators, and we got a couple of assistants as well.
Yeah.
Really excited for the opportunity to get out here and evaluate this upcoming draft talent.
Yeah, man, its season ended well for the Saints
Yeah, it
as
did.
well, going out there and, Tyler Shuck playing well. All the veteran players, too, out there, and Cam playing well. Found the fountain of youth there at the end of the season.
I tell you what, it's been being around Cam 10 years total here with the Saints. It was one of the most impressive seasons I've seen from him. I mean, just the way him and DeMario, the way they led, the way they performed, the way they went out, and they brought this team along.
Yeah.
And really excited for what's going on in the future. Obviously, you mentioned Tyler. I think we found the right guy.
Yeah, you think
so?
Yeah.
The cool thing is, I think it was like 5 or 6 of the rookies this year. They were here in Mobile a year ago.
Yeah.
Like I had Devin Neal hands-on. I got good experience with him. Obviously playing against Sanker, Tyler on the other team. So really, really great exposure.
Yeah.
It's one of the coolest things I saw this season, like in all the NFL, was some of the the Saints post-game, I'm going to say speeches by Kellen Moore, but just everybody talking, giving the game balls out. That even bad stuff happened, and not the best results earlier in the year, but the way y'all finished up. And to keep that mindset, especially with the veterans there, like the veterans staying in it and leading the way, man, those are some cool moments. Y'all had some really good moments in that locker room.
I tell you what, I can't agree with you more there. It's a mindset mentality. It's one that everything's not going to go your way. And you got to keep it. You guys have all been a part of sports and whatever level. But if you start to listen to what's going on in the outside noise, that pulls away from your team and your group. And I think our group did a good job. I think Kellen did an excellent job as far as keeping us focused. Hey, it is what it is. Whatever happened, let's deal with it, and let's keep on forging forward. Like, you talk about great moments, like when we beat Carolina at home. I was playing with 2 guys that weren't on the roster. They weren't active until the month of November. And you just, as a coach, that's why I was so proud of just our group, our team. They didn't care who was out there. They battled, and we found a way to win a game. And, that's why you get into it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no question.
Those scenes are great. I was like beating my chest just watching those clips of it. So that was great.
So we got to do it more.
Yeah, just a few more. That's right. Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that y'all, treat the Senior Bowl like y'all do. And the Saints are always represented as well as anybody. And look, you're the closest team. I get that. But still, just what you can learn. And you talked about, like, you got to work hands-on with a guy that y'all selected last year. What do you look for? You're going to be the head coach this week. Like, what are you looking for maybe in potential guys that y'all are going to draft?
Well, my goal is obviously to float around the entire team and get uncomfortable. Like, not just be around the running backs or be around the offense. Yeah. Personally, that's my goal as far as a personal goal there. But then at the same time, trying to find the right DNA, the right fit. Obviously, the athletic talents, that's the stuff we watch on film and evaluate. Yeah. But you don't get that all the time on film as far as like the grit, the pit bull mentality. They love football. Right. They love football. And we've all been around guys that are great at football. They like football. Right. So we got to find the ones that love it. They're willing to do everything they can possibly to go help us win games and make the Saints better. And if we can come away from this evaluation and find guys that are going to make us better, we win.
There you go.
Yep.
So, Coach, how much you have a week with these guys. So being the head coach for one of the teams, how much do y'all put in from an X's and O's standpoint? It's got to be pretty basic, right? Because is it a wristband type situation? How do they learn everything quickly? I know it's a lot of meeting time.
Yeah,
so
actually, I did last night. I presented to him. I go, listen. I showed him the final play of last year's game, throw to Jack Besh.
Yeah.
Then I go, I know a game plan can come together and have a winning formula. However, we have 9 hours of meeting time and 6 hours of practice, maybe a little bit less. So it's not a lot of meeting time when you're talking about
9 hours. Yeah. That's not as much as I thought there would be.
It feels like it.
Right,
we're here for a week.
Uh-huh.
But the main deal is we have the same plays. It's just the language. We're all just trying to get on the right page. So, whether it's the one word on the offensively to make it simple for everybody, something tell you to the right, something tell you to the left, and we're good to go. But we just try to dumb it down. The quarterbacks, they drive this thing. Fortunately, one of these quarterbacks I've known since he's about 6 years old.
Okay.
Cool.
With Nuss.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, of course.
Doug, teammates in college.
That's
we worked
right.
together at Washington. So these quarterbacks will drive it pretty well. And obviously we're trying to figure out who fits where and roll from there. But we try not to make it overcomplicated, put them in a few stressful situations, mainly more in practice, and then maybe dial up a couple trip plays for
there you go.
The game.
I love a week like this for a guy like Garrett Nussmeier, though, because we know what Garrett's all about. We've seen tape of Garrett go throw for 4,000 yards in the SEC, and things didn't go their way as a team this year. There's a lot of different reasons, but this is a week where Garrett can come in here and show the country, what he's all about. And like I said, he's thrown for 4,000 yards in an SEC season, and this is a great opportunity for him to go out there and shine. And I don't think any of us are going to act like he's not going to crush all the other parts of it, like the interviews and all the other stuff.
Yeah. No, and this is for all these guys here. It doesn't matter how you got here.
Yeah, you're here.
You could be from Bemidji State up in Minnesota. You could be from LSU. You could be from Washington. It doesn't matter. You're here. And last I checked, I saw a stat, 99% of the participants last year were drafted or they were signed free agents. Yep. So it's a good chance this is the future of our class. The guys that aren't here, obviously, they got opportunities as well. But Garrett, once again, it's the next chapter. Right. We get him. It's our first NFL experience that's driven. Obviously, college, it's a whole nother game as far as money and all that stuff. But different ball, different dimensions on the field, all this stuff. It's the first NFL. Hey, let's go play and find out what you're about.
Yeah, we're excited because, like we say, we of course, LSU guys, we want them. We're cheering on them always. And Nussmeier, we've seen the talent there. How much emphasis do y'all put on there's a lot of meeting time, not football meeting time, but meeting time with teams. It's the interview process, right? So as coaches, when y'all look at this, I know it's a combination of everything. I get that. But how much can you learn from a kid in that interview? Is it a 5-10 minute interview?
Well, the way they have it now, it's close to 20 minutes. Okay. And it's a little more than speed dating. But for myself as a coach, if I'm not coaching this game, it's my first interaction with the player. Mm-hmm. So all right, what's this guy about? What they're going to say something.
Throw him off a little bit.
Yeah. and you try to find common ground to start off with. And now I'm to the point where I got players that are here that I've coached their coaches and everything. That's when you're starting to get up there. But I always enjoy it. This game keeps us young because we're always around the 22, 25-year-olds and all that stuff. So it's a great opening exposure for the players. And obviously, we're always trying to find the nugget, the one answer or something that's going to put them over the top or it's going to separate themselves from somebody else to, hey, maybe we need to go another direction. Yeah. And then obviously, can they play? Yeah. Can they make plays?
That's what they're trying to avoid, too, right? That's what they're training right now, too. Don't say anything stupid.
The thing is, we usually know the answer before they give us
That's very true.
Just want to see the reaction.
Do you get a chance to get them on the board at all in those 20 minutes? I know, when I was coming out, everything was a little bit different. Every team had a little bit different process. I remember old Jack Del Rio, he was trying to confuse me on the board. He wanted to see how much he could challenge me in pass protection. Not everybody gets you on the board. Is that by design? Is it how much time do we have? Is it maybe we have a question about a guy coming in, so we want to get that answered?
Well, part of the deal too now, a lot of these kids, it's all digital. It's all taught differently. Not necessarily, their coaches may not be on the board all the time. So got to find out how they learn. I'm usually a video guy. Like, we'll pull up video, I'll have things pop up. Hey, tell me who the Sam, Mike, and Will are based off of strength and formation. I flip it. All right, tell me where they're at. See if they know how to flip it, or are they still calling it directional the way that we install it. Then you get into fronts. All right, what do you call this? What do you call that? Why do you do that? Call this out. So we're getting the same kind of response there. Like I've had guys that draw X's and O's very, very poorly. But they can run very well. So I'm not real good. I'm not grading on their penmanship, by all means.
Yeah. So. I was more penmanship guy,
You're a coach on the field.
As I see right there, you got pretty good handwriting. You pass. I'm going to draft you.
Right. Man, fronts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Many teams don't run like as much odd front as like when we were playing. I swear everybody, like, it was in vogue.
That was the flavor.
Like, everybody loved odd fronts, and you had those guys rushing off the edge like a bat out of hell. Like 3-4 backers.
Who's the Jack? Who's the Will? Who's the Sam? Who's the Rush? Like, and then we make football complicated by everybody calls it something different.
That's true.
So
teams kind of got away from some of the odd front stuff though, because everybody on offense started to spread it out a little bit more 11 personnel, 12 still. Unfortunately, 21 personnel, 22 kind of has gone away.
You guys are unicorns. There's only a couple of y'all left.
I know.
I'm trying to bring one back. But.
Okay, hey, if they do, you heard it here first.
We always argue because he's like a number route guy, and I'm like a West Coast guy. So what? So when you get, I'm sure you're going to get an amalgamation of that. Like, you're going to get guys that are number system here, and it's like.
Did you guys, would the run flip with the formation? So
they call the run?
Yeah,
it would for me.
So it wasn't evens and odds. It was running strong or weak. And it would flip. That blew my mind the first time I got around. I'm like, whoa, just right evens.
Right.
I got it.
Yeah. And then as you know, like, every code word gets bastardized, and like it starts as something, then it turns into
I've got
something else. I mean, when I played in Denver's offense, like, where Peyton Manning was our offense coordinator, basically he was. So like, he'd be on there, be like, we said this code word on a TV copy in 2001. I think they probably got it, so we got to change the code word. It's going to mean this week, and you're sitting there like, oh man, that military base was this 3 weeks ago, and now it's this week, and so it's the different offenses can be challenging.
No. The one I was in last year. It's called a NASCAR package. There were roughly 400 terms that either it was a run, a pass, a play action, include the protection and the formation.
Yep.
It was
some study time.
You needed more than 9 hours a week, like, for the most part.
That's so good.
I got to get right.
I know, Coach. Hey, thanks for stopping by.
Awesome.
We appreciate hollering at us for a couple of minutes. Best of luck this week, and we'll see you on the field.
Absolutely. Can't wait to get out there.
Absolutely. Right. You see, Flynn, they put the running back coaches in charge. That's who knows the most.
I get it.
And
a light. That's our fault.
Right. We are all good.
Okay.
Appreciate you, Coach.
See you, Coach. All right.
Did you save the Celsius? We saved it? All right, we're good. See you, Coach. That was fun.
That was great.
Yeah. I mean,
he was coaching there when I was with the Saints.
Yeah, he noticed you. He recognized you.
Mustache.
Well, he judged you for that. But he did say he listens to the show.
Did he?
You didn't hear him at the beginning?
Not a big deal.
He said, hey, I listen to y'all sometimes. Well, I did at the back end of the season when it was going well.
Yeah, we didn't. We just call it like we see it. Sometimes you might not like it. Sometimes
you appreciate that. He knew.
Yeah. Sometimes you might kind of like it.
Look, guys, and I know, like, we offered him, like, we're like, hey, you guys, headset, like, I know he's in front of the camera, but the audio is the audio. And so, you saw the back of his jacket, but
sorry, guys.
He's the head coach this week.
We're not going to be like, hey,
sit down.
It's a nice jacket.
So you saw the back of his jacket. That was
good dude. He's been doing it a long time. Yeah. Really good coach, really good person, and has always been very highly respected from all NFL folks. So excited to see what he can do. Great opportunity for him as a coach too, to have the experience. Scott Tolzien being a quarterback coach, getting a chance to be a coordinator for a week. It's a good auditioning tape for them as well, as they look to continue their coaching careers as well. What'd I do?
Taylor's so mad. Taylor, I get it. You're the video guy. I get why you're mad. But he might have knocked over the light, but he saved the energy drink. And I think more than anybody here, you can appreciate that, right?
Yep, sure. God, I am looking at our YouTube. We are kind of dark, aren't we?
Yeah, we're shadows, but it's okay.
If it wasn't so sunny here in beautiful Mobile, beautiful this time of year.
Yeah.
Well,
Man, I really wanted to bring him back and just sit and talk offense.
yeah, I wanted to start. Can you put me on the board, Coach?
I was about to say, Coach, can I show you? I can still
Come
do
on,
it.
I want to do it.
I can still do it, Coach. I can draw. He said he actually gave me an attaboy on my penmanship.
That's the marker.
Look.
He didn't see my writing, apparently.
There's a reason I was able to steal 6 years in the NFL.
Yep.
I got you on that board.
Got you, Coach.
You need me to come in? I got 10 plays in me, Coach. Might as well use them for the hometown team.
Dude, so someone just said in the chat, watching Matt try to grab for the chair that wasn't there was incredible. So it's been right here, but Jake moved it at some point, and I went like this. And then well, I'll play that off. I was like, hopefully no one saw that.
Yeah.
But you did. I'm kind of grateful that you did.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Jake, don't move that chair. It's my armrest.
I'm just reading some of this incredible comments inside the chat. Inside the chat. So again, we appreciate that. That was fun.
Great. Unexpected.
He was literally walking by and was like, "Hey, I listen to y'all." Well, I did in the back half of the season when it was going well. Said that, and they were like, "Well, you're here. You're talking with us. I don't know that we're on air. Throw a headset on." So yeah, again, you didn't get to see him, but you saw his bag. But we appreciate his time as he's going to be the head coach here this week. All right, we do need to take a break. Look at Flynn, keeping his clock integrity.
Go,
8 minutes past.
Yeah, boy.
We'll be back. More OTB.
Off the bench.
You go to centralplumbing.org. Not only in Central, in the entire greater Baton Rouge area, we are talking to you. 225-5000-774-24/7 365 weekend, holiday, game day, does not matter. Emergency service, they are there for you. Now, not only an emergency, so if you're looking to upgrade at your home, your business, they can come in, they can do that big, small, where, anywhere in between, doesn't really matter. If you want to, like Flynn said, like when they started their business, they came in and they kind of did everything. It can be as big as that. It can be as small as a new vanity. Whatever it is, go to centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, Central Plumbing. Centralplumbing.org, the plumbing experts, the Payne family, been doing it a long time. And guess what? As much as we can tell you, as much as you can get worn, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that might have forgot to drip some faucets last night in the freezing temperature. So if you woke up this morning, you got a little bit of a leak, it's all right. Emergency services right there at centralplumbing.org, 225-500-0774, centralplumbing.org.
Now, back to Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn, live from the 2026 Panini Senior Bowl in Mobile, presented by First American Bank and Trust.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from Mobile, Alabama. 2026 Panini Senior Bowl. Our trip brought to you by First American Bank and Trust. FABT.com is the website. Go check them out there. Also want to remind you about our friends over at Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. Go Tommy's, T-E-A-U-X, Tommy's with a Y.com. When you go to the website, we say it every day because it is true. You will clearly see the difference. And also, like, if you're looking for gutters, that's something that, we don't talk about often, but they certainly have that service there as well. When you go to the website, you can check out the gallery of work they've done for past customers in the greater Baton Rouge area. But always remember, they can customize your job as well. So if you've got something in mind, have Tommy and the team come out. They're award-winning every single year. That's why they win awards, because they have incredible customer service, and they're going to be able to make your dreams come true. Go to gotommys.com. Look, we're going to fix the lighting, okay? It's a little bit brighter than it normally is here.
We did not expect the sun out here in Mobile.
We did not expect it to be, because when we walked over here,
beautiful background, though.
Can everyone also just relax?
Yeah.
Can everyone just
we just need
calm down for a second?
We'll just chill out around here.
I mean, the guy who's the head coach this week, he stopped by. I don't know that he knew that we were on TV as well. We offered him a seat. He acted like he didn't hear us, so he stood tall and did the interview.
And we thank him for it.
Yeah,
he's fantastic. Very well respected man. Great coach. Great running backs coach for a long time. Being the head man this week. And, man, we almost went down a rabbit hole of X's and O's and forgot about the radio part of this thing.
Yeah.
And it's easy to do. I love talking to coaches. And it gives me a little flashback.
Yeah.
Trip down memory lane.
Yeah. Can you imagine like how many offenses like that man's probably been through?
Yeah, 400 NASCAR terms.
Dude, when he said that, that means like 400 code words.
Yeah, code words. I mean, like you say one word, lightning or whatever it is, and it means a entire play, motion.
Yeah.
Everything.
We had that when I was in Denver, but it was like 15 of those. It was like a whole play. It was by quarterback jersey number, like Favre, Young, Moon, LaMonica, Brister for Bubby Brister. Shout out to Bubby Brister. He had a play.
All right.
We had 15 of those things, not 400.
Bubby Brister got one at 15?
Yeah, he played in Denver. He's
bad.
from Louisiana. Peyton's from Louisiana. So
when I was with the Patriots, there was 3 different types of terms. There was the long play call that was, wordy, 20 words, whatever. Then there was like a shortened version of that where it was like a 4 or 5 word code where it was shortened.
Yeah.
But then there was the 1 word NASCAR thing where you had to memorize the 1 word and it meant a 20-word play.
Yeah.
And there was a decent amount. That's when I figured at that point, I was like, all right, Rob Gronkowski, he kind of puts on this dummy persona.
Yeah.
But he's got this down. Like, he's not a dummy because nobody can be a dummy and be in this offense. I mean, that was the most challenging offense I ever had to learn because, like you said, it's been bastardized over 20 years. And if you're in it, over time, it's easy to learn that stuff because you've seen it all progress and you've seen the terminology change and you've seen why these things have been added and you've been a part of that. But just learning it from thin air makes no sense. So you're just literally you're not learning anything.
Yeah.
It's absolute 100% memorizing.
Yeah.
And anybody learned anything. Memorizing is not how you want to learn, but that's how you had to do it.
The best part about the Tom Brady roast is I think it was Nikki Glaser got up there. He's talking about Tom Brady's crypto investments. And even Gronk, me know that not real money.
Me know that not real money.
So, yes, that's what, what people think. But, yeah, to learn that offense.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Me know that not real money.
To learn that offense is pretty incredible. So, all right, we are going to play catch-up. Joel Thomas he was with us, and he was very gracious with his time. And so we appreciate that time. And probably a fun week for him and a great week for the Saints. I mean, the fact that they're able to be here. And, again, I know they are the closest, so it's easy. They can, really drive over. They don't even have to get on a plane. But he said it, like 5 of the guys that they took last year in a very good class. Remember, ESPN.com ranked that the top class. Well, they came from the Senior Bowl. So the Saints, a little bit of a cheat sheet here on some of the players. And we'll talk about that and maybe what they're looking at here this week in Mobile when we come back on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go see our friends over at TrashRangers.com. Look, they have got that sanitation department up and rolling. So listen, if you've got, you're on a, Mardi Gras parade route and you're having everybody over and you want to be able to have the portable toilets like Spanish Town, which is coming up on February the 14th. Well, you don't want everybody in your house.
Nah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you want to have a situation where everybody hangs out, but I ain't trying to let you in the house. So we're going to have a portable toilet, and that's what you can use, and it's going to be nice. It's going to be clean. It's going to certainly get the job done, and so you can go ahead and plan ahead. Visit TrashRangers.com to get your spot covered for Parade Day.
Yeah, because what do they say? They're number 1 at picking up number 2. Trash Rangers, TrashRangers.com, most reliable waste and sanitation services in South Louisiana and trash removal service as well. So commercial, residential, roll-off dumpsters, whatever your need is on trash removal, they got you covered. 3 roll-off dumpster sizes to choose from. Just give them a call. Tell them what you need. Tell them your project. They can help you size perfectly for you. TrashRangers.com.
Here I am on the road again.
Now, back to Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn, live from the 2026 Panini Senior Bowl in Mobile, presented by First American Bank and Trust.
All right, welcome back in. It is OTB, and we are live here at the 2026 Panini Senior Bowl. Shout out to Matthew Clayton Flynn. Just took care of the crew. There wasn't coffee here, but he made it happen.
Yeah.
QB1 moves.
Yep. No
he
shot.
might finger point at me and not have a question earlier, but he totally redeemed himself.
Nope. Yeah, not a shout out to the Senior Bowl right now for not having coffee for us. Sorry to get a little caffeine headache, sleepy eyes, but it's okay. We got coffee now, and we got little sandwiches. All right, let's try it. Does this work? Does this help?
Oh, you got your flashlight on your phone. Look, yeah,
Kind of like I'm telling a ghost story.
It's okay. We're just like, you ever seen like First 48 when they're about to snitch on somebody? That's us. We're just about to snitch on somebody right now. And so, like, we can't show you our whole face.
Oh, yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
right.
saying?
We're in
Yeah.
the confession room.
Yeah. We need, like, one of those voice-changing boxes, though.
Hey, Coach.
I do want to, in the next hour,
Okay.
since obviously we went
It's almost 2 hours gone by.
We went long with
super fast.
Well, we had 3 interviews. That's not like us. But we did have Joel Thomas on, and he made a great point about them drafting 5 guys from this game a year ago. And he's like, look, I had Devin Neal in this game, so I knew when I was drafting him, like, what I was getting. And I kind of want to look at the roster, and the Saints have more coaches than anybody here, obviously, and try to find out, like, where they would lean, like what position group they're looking at. And if it is receiver, is there a receiver here in this game that we feel like it fits the mold for what the Saints are looking for? So we'll have that coming your way to kick off hour number 3. Again, we are live, boots on the ground at the 2026 Panini Senior Bowl, and our coverage brought to you by First American Bank and Trust. And what?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought that was you got me too. I thought that was the cart.
The coffee?
Is that what got you earlier?
Yeah, no, someone yelled it earlier.
Oh, they yelled it. So
I'll do some scout. I'm going to do some receiver scouting for the Saints.
I was trying
this
to
week.
think if they're. I know their quarterback coach is. I know the running back coach is. I'm trying to think. Oh, Peter Sermon, but that's going to be on the defensive side. I know special teams. So they don't have their receiver coach here, but that's okay. We just need a receiver.
That's
for the
all right.
Saints.
They got me. I'll be on the lookout. I'll be at all the practices. I'll actually be in the stands watching the practices. You're going to be doing, like, a job.
Yeah, but we do it from outside on the terrace there so we can watch practice as well.
Yeah, but you're not going to be focused in like me. I'm going to have my notebook.
It is so, like, there is literally players like yesterday. We got to go to break. Yesterday, like, accepting their offers. All right, full New Orleans Saints
Off the
breakdown when we come
bench.
back.